Hi guys, and welcome to the Sunderland vs Watford match review. So Sunderland have just come back from 2 goals down to get a point at the Stadium Light against Watford, and I'm going to try and go into this review somewhat level-headed. I think any other game of the season, any other time of the season, even now I probably should more than most, you'd expect me to be going ape shit, going mad, because at the end of the day I feel like it is an opportunity wasted. But let's have a look at this as how crazy is it that we've just come up from League One and with a couple of games left we are sat here feeling disappointed that we've just come back from 2 goals down to get a point against only just relegated from the Premier League, Watford. That's mental. That shows the absolute strides this club and this team has made. So as much as I want to sit here, and I do have a sort of fiery anger sat in me right now and frustration, there's also a side to me that just can't help but love this side that have given us an excellent season. And that doesn't mean that it's over by any stretch, because it was a huge opportunity today and it's just no longer in our hands. But as I say, for us to come back from a couple of goals down to get a draw against Watford, who've only just been relegated, we've just come up, and for me to actually be disappointed at that and feel somewhat disappointed or deflated at that, it just speaks volumes of how good and how amazing this team have performed this season. By no means am I ashamed of that team today. By no means. Yes, certain performances weren't up to scratch, but I'm going to keep repeating, it's mental how far this team have come. So I'm not going to rant and rave and go mad at these players today. It's just not going to happen. I just don't have it in me. I think it would be wrong. But going into the review in itself, we made one change, and that was Barr, who drops to the bench, and Roberts come on, and I thought that's probably the best side we can come up with. It was only one player off. Oh, sorry, one of the best sides we could come up with. Personally, I would have originally gone for Mishu instead of Ekwa. But getting into the game, we started off, we had 44, 45k at the Stadium Light in terms of attendance, and for the opening sort of 15, 20 minutes of the game, it did feel like, or at least around that time, it felt like the crowd were almost willing and pulling that Sunderland team towards that Watford goal, and we were making chances. Roberts got in behind, he put it just wide of goal. We've had other chances as well, testing the keeper from distance. Ekwa himself, I think he had a cracking 15, 20 minutes opening up. Plenty of times where they were trying to break away and he was having absolutely none of it, and we needed that physicality in there, so we understand Mowbray's decision to include Ekwa. He was getting involved. And what I've noticed with Ekwa recently, I've kind of really refrained and I've been very reserved on giving my verdict on him, because I feel like he's gone for the sort of easy decision almost every time he gets the ball, sort of get the ball, move it on as soon as humanly possible. Whereas today I saw a different side to him where he looked very comfortable, very calm on the ball, not only off it when he was nicking in and making great challenges or shielding the ball really well, he was holding on to it and he was being very measured and thoughtful before he would give his passes, and he wouldn't just give it off immediately. He would hold on to it and hold on to it and hold on to it until the right pass would become available. And that sounds really basic, but it's actually the sign of a very good midfielder, and I appreciated that. But for their goal, they didn't look threatening whatsoever for a large part. Well, until their goal, they didn't look particularly threatening. We gave away a corner needlessly. Ball gets in, and Ekwa should have marked his man, and you can see it on the replay. Ekwa is staring at the ball, but with no real sort of emphasis or desire to actually want to get the ball. It's one of them where, he's kind of looking to see where the ball is, but he's thinking, oh, it's not going to come near me, and his man flies in front of him and gets it. He was holding on to his man, not really focused on what he's doing. He was just sort of ball watching, which is just, it's absolute Sunday League basics, and sadly that kind of took him away. It took away the praise I really wanted to give to Ekwa originally. But it's a young team. He's a young lad. He'll hopefully learn. But it was just piss poor defending. They give away the goal to get a free header essentially, and went 1-0 down. And then it was, again, we're still going for it. The only thing that was frustrating me throughout the game, and it was a theme throughout, I must say, first half, Jack Clark, he was really going for it. He was really trying, but it just wasn't coming off for him in terms of getting balls in the box or trying to cut inside. He was very easy to read, and the amount of times, Roberts as well, he had that really good chance where he did put just past the post, but he had a nightmare in that first half. The amount of times where his first touch was poor, or he was getting under his feet the ball. But when, like I said, Diallo, Ahmad, he didn't have a great game either. As much as he's an absolutely class player, of course he is. But that don't mean he can't be given any criticism either, because he didn't have a great game. He didn't have a fantastic game, or at least one of his best games. It was one of them where there were times where I've been frustrated in the past where we get it out to the wing, and I can understand why we're doing these little triangles, because you've only got Gelhardt in there by himself. But there were players queuing up on the edge of the box, in the box, and we were refusing to put the ball in the box. So many bodies in there that are flying in there, and we're just doing these little triangles and eventually lose it, and then they break, and that was happening time and time again. And that's what happened. Second half, come out. Watford, in the first half, as I say, they didn't really threaten us too much. I think they had one long-distance shot and then the goal itself. But second half, they come out, and they looked a lot more structured, whereas in the first, they seemed a little bit all over the place at times, and I couldn't really work out their game plan. Second half, it was like a flat 4-4-2. And it was so strict and disciplined, and we were playing a lot of our football in front of him, and then we were struggling to make chances. And then, of course, it's another set play after not really threatening us too much. It's another set play, and Potts just gets the goal, and it's 2-0. And it was just boys against men when it comes to set pieces. And in terms of set pieces ourselves, I think we had 8 or 9 corners, and I think only one of them actually made it into the box. The other sort of 7, 8. It was hitting the first man every single time, be it Clark on one side or Roberts on the other. And it was just poor service into the box. But then we just turned it on. We absolutely turned it on. I think we needed that. We needed something to lift this crowd, because particularly the first half, the crowd was absolutely on side, as they were, as you'd expect, absolutely smashing behind this crowd. But the players were giving nothing for the crowd to really bounce off, and you need that. You can't just have this sort of relentless crowd and the players doing nothing. It's a working relationship. It goes both ways. And eventually we did manage to get one back. Ball gets pinged back into the box after they originally cleared it away, and there's Luke O'Neill to tuck it away to make it 2-1, and then it really was just backs against the wall. They were time wasting to all hell. I think that's why there was 7 or 8 minutes added on. Every time we were touching and they're on the ground for fucking 3-4 minutes at a time. How it weren't 10 minutes, I don't know. But then they were just pinned back. We were playing cross after cross, shot after shot, in terms of shot after shot. We were refusing to pull the trigger, which is what was really annoying me. We just sort of camped outside their box without really doing anything. But then Patrick Roberts, although like I say, he didn't have the best of games, he eventually cuts inside, a minute left, and he absolutely pings it. It's an absolute beauty into that top left to make it 2-2. Beautiful goal, fit to win any game, but it's a last minute equaliser that doesn't really help us a massive amount. It could be a very, very important point, but it saved us there. And I've got to say again, I want to almost, there's like 50% of me that wants to sit here and go absolutely mad, and because I'm so frustrated that we threw away such a good opportunity. But again, for the 50th time in this video, for us to be sat here and me being disappointed at what's just happened, it just speaks volumes, and so I'm not going to do it. I'm very, very proud of these lads, regardless of what happens now for the remainder of the season, despite what an opportunity today was. And I said in the preview to this game, I know Watford only won 2 in the last 11, but that's what happens. Teams come to us with these records, and we always break their ducks by... I'm not saying that we played appallingly, because we didn't at all by any stretch, but it just happens. It's the Sunderland way at times. But we have Preston last game of the season. I think they got battered today. Millwall have Blackburn last game of the season. So we win our last game, and now we are waiting, and we're relying on other results, which is very, very frustrating. But to say we're in the mix anyway at this point in the season is outstanding. But yeah, so that's it from me, guys. For me, in terms of a man of the match, I think Ekwa was very, very good. But also, I need to give it to Lyndon Gooch. There were just some times where he was just outstanding. You had Davis, who was all over him and trying to get him behind. And then Gooch would just find this sort of 7th gear where he would somehow put on the burners and nick in and defend well. And he was trying to drag us forward at times, single-handedly. And he did that very well. I'll probably give it to Gooch. I can't really think of anyone else who really deserves it. In terms of performance anyway. So yeah, disappointing that it is an opportunity wasted, but we've come back from 2 goals down. At the stage of my life, I'll take it. I'll have to take it, won't we? So we'll have to see what happens final game of the season. But anyway, you guys of course let me know in the comments down below what you think of the game. Again, like I said, I'm in this weird place now where I'm sat here, I am pissed off, but also very proud. But yes, if you've enjoyed, please hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, take care and stay jammy.